The Lotus Sutra, Chapter 28, Encouragements of the Bodhisattva Universal Worthy. At that time, Bodhisattva Universal Worthy, famed for his freely exercised transcendental powers, dignity and virtue, in company with great bodhisattvas in immeasurable, boundless, indescribable numbers, arrived from the east. The lands that he passed through, one and all, quaked and trembled. Jeweled lotus flowers rained down, in immeasurable hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions of different kinds of music played. In addition, numberless heavenly beings, dragons, yakshas, gandharvas, asuras, garudas, kimnaras, mahoragas, human and non-human beings, surrounded him in a great assembly, each displaying his dignity, virtue, and transcendental powers. When Bodhisattva Universal Worthy arrived in the midst of Mount Gridhrakuta, in the Saha world, he bowed his head to the ground in obeisance to Shakyamuni Buddha, circled around him to the right 7 times, and said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, when I was in the land of the Buddha, king above jeweled dignity and virtue, from far away I heard the Lotus Sutra being preached in this Saha world. In company with this multitude of immeasurable, boundless hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions of bodhisattvas, I have come to listen to and accept it. I beg the world-honored one will preach it for us. And good men and good women, in the time after the thus come one has entered extinction, how will they be able to acquire this Lotus Sutra?" The Buddha said to Bodhisattva Universal Worthy, "If good men and good women will fulfill 4 conditions in the time after the thus come one has entered extinction, then they will be able to acquire this Lotus Sutra. First, they must be protected and kept in mind by the Buddhas. Second, they must plant the roots of virtue. Third, they must enter the stage where they are sure of reaching enlightenment. Fourth, they must conceive a determination to save all living beings. If good men and good women fulfill these 4 conditions, then after the thus come one has entered extinction, they will be certain to acquire this sutra." At that time, Bodhisattva Universal Worthy said to the Buddha, world-honored one, "In the evil and corrupt age of the last 500-year period, if there is someone who accepts and upholds this sutra, I will guard and protect him, free him from decline and harm, see that he attains peace and tranquility, and make certain that no one can spy out and take advantage of his shortcomings. No devil, devil's son, devil's daughter, devil's minion, or one possessed by the devil, no yaksha, rakshasa, kumbhanda, pishacha, kritya, putana, vetada, or other being that torments humans will be able to take advantage of him. Whether that person is walking or standing, if he reads and recites this sutra, then at that time I will mount my 6-tusked kingly white elephant, and with my multitude of great bodhisattvas will proceed to where he is. I will manifest myself, offer alms, guard and protect him, and bring comfort to his mind. I will do this because I too want to offer alms to the Lotus Sutra. If when that person is seated he ponders this sutra, at that time too I will mount my kingly white elephant and manifest myself in his presence. If that person should forget a single phrase or verse of the Lotus Sutra, I will prompt him and join him in reading and reciting, so that he will gain understanding. At that time the person who accepts, upholds, reads, and recites the Lotus Sutra will be able to see my body, will be filled with great joy, and will apply himself with greater diligence than ever. Because he has seen me, he will immediately acquire samadhis and dharanis. These are called the repetition dharani, the 100,000, 10,000, million repetition dharani, and the dharma sound expedient dharani. He will acquire dharanis such as these. World-honored one, in that later time, in the evil and corrupt age of the last 500-year period, if monks, nuns, laymen, believers, or laywomen believers who seek out, accept, uphold, read, recite, and transcribe this Lotus Sutra should wish to practice it, they should do so diligently and with a single mind, for a period of 21 days. When the 21 days have been fulfilled, I will mount my 6-tusked white elephant, and with immeasurable numbers of bodhisattvas surrounding me, and with this body that all living beings delight to see, I will manifest myself in the presence of the person and preach the law for him, bringing him instruction, benefit, and joy. I will also give him dharani spells, and because he has acquired these spells, no non-human being will be able to injure him, and he cannot be confused or led astray by women. I too will personally guard him at all times. Therefore, world-honored one, I hope you will permit me to pronounce these dharanis." Then in the presence of the Buddha he pronounced these spells. Adande danda pati danda varti danda kushalye danda sudare sudare sudarapate Buddha pashani sarva dharani avartani sarva bhashya avartani suavartani samga parikshani samga nirgatani samge samga pagate triyadva samga tulya arate prapte sarva samga samati krante sarva dharma suparikshite sarva sattva rut kalshalyanugate simhavi kridite. World Honored One, if any bodhisattva is able to hear these dharanis, he should understand that it is due to the transcendental powers of universal worthy. If when the Lotus Sutra is propagated throughout Jambudvipa, there are those who accept and uphold it, they should think to themselves, this is all due to the authority and supernatural power of universal worthy. If there are those who accept, uphold, read, and recite this sutra, memorize it correctly, understand its principles, and practice it as the sutra prescribes, these persons should know that they are carrying out the practices of universal worthy himself. In the presence of immeasurable boundless numbers of Buddhas, they will have planted good roots deep in the ground, and the hands of the thus come ones will pat them on their head. If they do no more than copy the sutra, when their lives come to an end, they will be reborn in the Triyastrimsha heaven. At that time, 84,000 heavenly women, performing all kinds of music, will come to greet them. Such persons will put on crowns made of 7 treasures, and amidst the ladies in waiting will amuse and enjoy themselves. How much more so then if they accept, uphold, read, and recite the sutra, memorize it correctly, understand its principles, and practice it as the sutra prescribes. If there are persons who accept, uphold, read, and recite the sutra, and understand its principles, when the lives of these people come to an end, they will be received into the hands of 1,000 Buddhas, who will free them from all fear and keep them from falling into the evil paths of existence. Immediately they will proceed to the Tushita heaven, to the place of Bodhisattva Maitreya. Bodhisattva Maitreya possesses the 32 features and is surrounded by a multitude of great bodhisattvas. He has hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions of heavenly women attendants, and these persons will be reborn in their midst. Such will be the benefits and advantages they enjoy. Therefore, persons of wisdom should single-mindedly copy the sutra themselves, or cause others to copy it, should accept, uphold, read, and recite it, memorize it correctly, and practice it as the sutra prescribes. World Honored One, I now therefore employ my transcendental powers to guard and protect this sutra, and after the thus come one has entered extinction, I will cause it to be widely propagated throughout Jambudvipa, and will see that it never comes to an end. At that time, Shakyamuni Buddha spoke these words of praise. Excellent, excellent universal worthy. You are able to guard and assist this sutra and cause many living beings to attain peace and happiness and advantages. You have already acquired inconceivable benefits and profound great pity and compassion. Since long ages in the past, you have shown a desire for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, and have taken a vow to use your transcendental powers to guard and protect this sutra. And I will employ my transcendental powers to protect those who can accept and uphold the name of Bodhisattva Universal Worthy. Universal Worthy, if there are those who accept, uphold, read, and recite this Lotus Sutra, memorize it correctly, practice and transcribe it, you should know that such persons have seen Shakyamuni Buddha. It is as though they heard this sutra from the Buddha's mouth. You should know that such persons have offered alms to Shakyamuni Buddha. You should know that the Buddha has praised such persons as excellent. You should know that such persons have been patted on the head by Shakyamuni Buddha. You should know that such persons have been covered in the robes of Shakyamuni Buddha. They will no longer be greedy for or attached to worldly pleasures. They will have no taste for the scriptures or jottings of non-Buddhists. They will take no pleasure in associating with such people or with those engaged in evil occupations, such as butchers, raisers of pigs, sheep, chickens, or dogs, hunters, or those who offer women's charms for sale. These persons will be honest and upright in mind and intent, correct in memory, and will possess the power of merit and virtue. They will not be troubled by the 3 poisons, nor will they be troubled by jealousy, self-importance, ill-founded conceit, or arrogance. These persons will have few desires, will be easily satisfied, and will know how to carry out the practices of universal worthy. Universal worthy, after the thus come one has entered extinction, in the last 500-year period, if you see someone who accepts, upholds, reads, and recites the Lotus Sutra, you should think to yourself, before long this person will proceed to the place of practice, conquer the devil hosts, and attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. He will turn the wheel of the Dharma, beat the Dharma drum, sound the Dharma conch, and rain down the Dharma rain. He is worthy to sit in the lion's seat of the Dharma, amid the great assembly of heavenly and human beings. Universal worthy, in later ages, if there are those who accept, uphold, read, and recite this sutra, such persons will no longer be greedy for or attached to clothing, bedding, food and drink, or other necessities of daily life. Their wishes will not be in vain, and in this present existence they will gain the reward of good fortune. If there is anyone who disparages or makes light of them, saying, "You are mere idiots. It is useless to carry out these practices. In the end, they will gain you nothing," then as punishment for his offense, that person will be reborn, eyeless in existence after existence. But if there is anyone who offers alms to them and praises them, then in this present existence, he will have manifest reward for it. If anyone sees a person who accepts and upholds this sutra and tries to expose the faults or evils of that person, whether what he speaks is true or not, he will in his present existence be afflicted with white leprosy. If anyone disparages or laughs at that person, then in existence after existence he will have teeth that are missing or spaced far apart, ugly lips or flat nose, hands and feet that are gnarled or deformed, and eyes that are squinty. His body will have a foul odor, with evil sores that run pus and blood, and he will suffer from water in the belly, shortness of breath, and other severe and malignant illnesses. Therefore, universal worthy, if you see a person who accepts and upholds this sutra, you should rise and greet him from afar, showing him the same respect you would a Buddha. When this chapter on the encouragements of the Bodhisattva universal worthy was preached, Bodhisattvas immeasurable and boundless as Ganges sands acquired Dharanis, allowing them to memorize 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000 repetitions of the teachings, and Bodhisattvas equal to the dust particles of the 1,000,000,000-fold world perfected the way of universal worthy. When the Buddha preached this sutra, universal worthy and the other bodhisattvas, Shariputra and the other voice hearers, along with the heavenly beings, dragons, human and non-human beings, the entire membership of the Great Assembly, were all filled with great joy. Accepting and upholding the words of the Buddha, they bowed in obeisance and departed. End of the Lotus Sutra. Thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed following along with the Lotus Sutra and haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you have any other sutras that you would like to see read and have images placed to, please put it in the comments. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Shakyamuni Buddha.